Welcome in, Aquarians, to your November monthly tarot reading. So we are going to tap in. I asked my higher dimensional guide source to provide guidance and information for the collective of any sun, moon, rising, or Venus Aquarians. And yeah, for the month to see what's going on, anything you need to be aware of. The reason you're going through certain things and just give you some perspective or guidance. So we'll tap in there. So we are at the home stretch of 2024, and November is not going to be, it's going to be just as great as every other month, especially this year's been kind of crazy. I think, we could say that for the last 5 years or 4 years or whatever have you, but November is going to be a big month of energy. So, we have the sun in Scorpio, we have Mercury going retrograde this month. What else do we got going on? We got Pluto moving into Aquarius, which is a huge shift. So that's all going to be intense. And, as Pluto moves into Aquarius, you Aquarians are going to be one of those that it's going to be most impacted by that. So it's moving into your sign. It's going to be in your sign for the next 20 years. So the theme of Pluto is transformation and change. So it is going to be a time for you to almost... I feel like for you Aquarians, the next 20 years is going to be a time of major change and transformation. By the end of the next 20 years, I don't think you're going to be the same person. I don't think you're going to be in the same, situation or scenario that you are today. That can be, I don't want to scare you guys out there, but that can be very positive, right? If you feel like you've been stuck for a while, that a lot of times was, Pluto was in Capricorn. So Capricorn really is that sign that likes to stay the same. They like the stability of the old, of, well, this is what's comfortable for me, right? Capricorn is about structures and organizations and like the how we do things, but they're kind of more stuck in how have we been doing them, right? This is what I know. This is what I've been taught. But Pluto is the complete opposite energy of, no, I want to blow up anything that's stuck, that's not working, that's not in your highest good. And that's a really, tug of war energy with Capricorn. So I think a lot of us are going to feel that kind of almost lightning of energy. Aquarius also wants to think big and look at the collective and just, Aquarius is about the bigger picture, not the individual. So it's time for change, Aquarius. So we're going to look at this. This is really going to be that first major shift as far as the external world in November, of us really seeing things changing. I think the last, especially 6 months, has been about the internal change and really working through, who am I really? What am I feeling? What is my truth? What works for me? What doesn't? And kind of assessing that and then applying that to our external world. So let's go ahead and get going here. I have the Time Traveler's Oracle. We'll start with and kind of just get some foundational energies, and then tap into Tarot in Wonderland. Okay, Aquarius. So the first card we have, Courage, Vikings in the New World. Yeah, definitely this, like, you're trekking into a new place, and it might not necessarily, you're going to be there in November, but I do feel like you are gaining the courage, gaining that push to start taking action towards that. We have vast vistas, the nomads. of Mongolia. That's a 43 card and an 8 card. And then we have Stillness, a Zen monastery in Japan. So this is just, again, for probably very minimal, you know, for a small amount of you, but there could also be, this could be really talking about you traveling, traveling, some of you to Asia, somewhere in Asia, it could be Japan, Mongolia, but there is this like stepping out into a new world. You're on like the forefront of exploration into something different. That could be, again, starting to travel more. And maybe that's going to start in November. Maybe you have a trip in November, or maybe in November you just start really feeling like, no, I want to get out there and see the world. I do feel like that's also going to be, you know, when we look at our individual lives and how we're living those lives, I do feel like you're moving out into something that you haven't really experienced, or doing something different, moving maybe to somewhere new, or a potential to move. That could be somewhere as well. So, and I feel like wherever you're moving, you want some more freedom and even like space. So you could be moving to a bigger house, but also just this expansion of energy and possibility as well. I feel like this new place you go does help you expand energetically. And I feel like you're looking at the potential possibilities that maybe you've only thought were, you know, again, dreams are in your head, and really trying to figure out, how do I make those happen? With the hawk here too, this guy's like a hawk trainer or a messenger. So I do feel like there is going to be some higher messages from your higher self, or, you know, from guides as well coming in. So when you all of a sudden just get these like aha moments, or feel like you're something kind of a light bulb moment, or something all of a sudden like you could get a download about a situation in the past, I feel like that's going to be pretty big in November. And I do feel like it's calling for you for the stillness of like, you could be someone that likes to stay busy, but I do feel like those types of people, you are kind of running from yourself. You're running from your own head. You're running from the emotions inside yourself. In November, as we shift from fall into winter here, I do feel like it's asking for you to spend more time with yourself in silence, or even meditation, to connect with those parts of you that like you keep kind of trying to push away, or you don't want to face, because really what that is they're painful. You know, those emotions, those memories, whatever your pain body or your parts of yourself are saying to you, it comes from a place of pain, and it's not easy to connect with those parts because, right, it's painful. It makes you sad, or there's grief there. So, yeah, major expansion here, I feel, starting in November for you. So let's move forward with some tarot. I'm trying something different with you guys, Aquarians. I'm going to do the Celtic cross spread, which is a pretty basic standard spread as the cards fly everywhere. I actually haven't done a video with the Celtic cross, so you are my first. You're going to be the guinea pigs. So let's see here. The first card out, we have the current situation, and maybe I'll just lay them all out. Sorry. Okay. So we have the current situation is the Nine of Wands, with the challenge is the Two of Cups. So definitely there is some sort of challenge in regards to relationships. This could be, you know, with the Nine of Wands, I feel like this has been going on a while. Maybe you've just like, this could be, you could be, have been in a long-term relationship that you feel is challenging, or that like just figuring out how to, it's almost like you're ready to give up on this. Like you've been beat up. This has been too much. And you're just kind of like, when are things going to get easier? For some of you too, it just could be a pattern of struggles in relationships and finding that right person. I do feel like the challenge is finding someone that you feel equally for, as they feel the same for you, and there's that harmony there. There's that balance. So it looks like for you in November, the focus is on relationship dynamics here. So we have, what do you need to focus on? So the Eight of Cups, I do feel like part of the challenge is holding on to emotions from the past, and you keep carrying them forward. This could also be a focus on like, potentially some of you need to actually walk away from this relationship. It's not in your highest good. So something to think about there. We have, this is the past card. So there has been a lot of blocks in the past, feeling stuck in a situation. This could also be like people who just are really blocked from a heart chakra perspective, or they have a wall built up over their heart. And this type of person, I feel, if it's like someone you're connected to, or again, patterns, these type of people are really going to be hard to, they're not vulnerable. They're not willing to open up. Like they're not willing to let someone in. And those types of people as well, you're going to have a hard time with, in relationship. So they need to work through their own trauma and why they're so, withholding in regards to their connections or relationships. If this is you, I do feel like in the recent past, for some of you, potentially there's been kind of this like crossroads of like, you're at a place where you're like, okay, we need to move forward. So I either need to make a choice about going in one direction or another in regards to relationships. But that's the past here. The Strength card is this Five of Cups. So what I feel like what this Five of Cups is saying, like your past, you may see the things that have happened in your life in regards to connections. There's been loss or grief or hardship or challenge as like as a negative or a challenge. But I feel like what, this is saying is it's actually a strength for you. I feel like you've gone through these to like learn and grow and become aware of yourself and how you show up in relationships. And also learning, sometimes our suffering does kind of break open a blocked heart. For some people, like here's the opposite here. Some people will shut down more, where for you, I do feel like it's helped you open up and be more willing and wanting to connect and have someone to share your life with. The near future here is the Chariot card. I do like that. I do feel like you are moving forward in regards to what's in your highest good. You're moving towards something positive. So I feel like if you're kind of still like in this place of not sure what's going to happen or what choice point to make or what path to go down, I do feel like you are going to figure that out fairly quickly. And, that's a really strong, fast energy of things moving forward fast. I do feel like once you kind of make a decision here, there is some sort of fear getting in the way here. So we have the Advice card, which is the Devil. It's just kind of talking about your fear, and don't let your fear stop you and keep you on the fence, or just keep you in a situation as well that maybe you just feel comfortable in, right? We need to face our fears and really try and understand what's in we have the Moon here, right? And this is the environment. So there is a lot of confusion here. Maybe people too are holding back a lot of feelings. This could be you or somebody else. They're not really telling, someone's not really fully expressing how they feel. They're kind of holding back, and I think they're in like a confusion place. So this could be referring to a relationship where one person, again, this could be you or another person, is maybe not so sure about the relationship and what direction it's going, or like, is this really the person I want to settle down with? I think you've been internal about this. So I'm leaning more towards it's you, but like you've been really internal assessing this and how you feel about it. There is some fears about either way, a fear of what if I walk away from this relationship? What then? Or if I stay in this relationship and this isn't really what's right for me, what happens then, right? So that's the 8 card is the environment you're in. So I do feel this like lack of communication, really, really communicating how you're feeling. And if you're with someone who's healthy and who is, again, if it's a healthy relationship, if there is fears about that, you should be able to talk to them about it, and they should be receptive, and you can have an adult conversation. If it's someone who you think if you say how you really feel or your fears or talk through them and they're going to react in a negative way, that's not a good sign, right? That's probably a red flag for long term because you need to be able to communicate. You should really be able to be expressive of how you're feeling in every moment, because maybe it's, maybe if you are with someone who really is able to give you that container to feel what you're really feeling and to work through that, maybe you then find out that this is the right person. So I feel like it's still up in the air. This card here is the 6 of Swords is your hopes and fears. So I do feel like, on both fronts, I feel like you just want to get out of this like kind of space of confusion a bit, or just like being on the fence. Like you just want to move forward in either direction. 6 of Swords, like you want to move forward into an easier place. I do feel like things have been a bit difficult here, like I said, with this 9 of Wands in the current situation here. Something has been kind of a long road, and you're just kind of like, when am I going to finally, get to a place where like a relationship's easy, and a relationship that I really feel, is the one, or just something I want to invest in. And then this is the outcome here, the Page of Wands. I do feel like that you are the outcome here is you're going to be inspired. There's a lot of inspired energy coming in November, and I do feel like that kind of, along with, I talked about the hawk here and messages coming in, because the wand is like that source of connection from you to your higher self or higher dimensions, or like your guides, and you're getting information that way. And I do feel like it's helping you to, for one, because a page 2 is someone who's not, they're still getting their sea legs in whatever they're doing. So you're kind of learning, you're kind of getting inspired, and this could also be a message coming in. It could be a message from your higher self, or just a message in general that's going to help you to move forward on the right path for you. So I do feel like November is a pivotal point for you to really decide and get out of this stuck energy. And potentially too, to communicate. I think advice was you need to be able to communicate what you're feeling and kind of work through that. Because you shouldn't just stay in something because you're afraid. And this could be many different fears. Fear to be alone, fear of what the other person might respond to you or do. But this is a lot of karmic energy too with the devils. So I do feel with the 9 of Wands and the devil, you've kind of been through a very karmic cycle. If you have any, I think it's, if you have Capricorn, Libra, Aries, and Cancer, those have been most impacted too by the Pluto and Capricorn energy the last 20 years. So you could be finally wrapping up a very karmic, difficult 20 years, 18 years for yourself. And you're going to start to feel that movement forward in November. So I just want to clarify, what's the Page of Wands here for the outcome? Ace of Cups. So that could also be you, like, maybe for some of you, once you do communicate, this person you're connected with is willing to try and kind of start over, and like addressing those things that maybe, again, that's kind of holding you back. And there's that Ace of Cups, that new start, the new beginning emotionally, and you guys kind of starting a new kind of lighter energy, maybe not so serious. And then the Moon here, the Tower, yep. So I feel like if you don't actively try to have this conversation or talk about your feelings, I do feel like there's going to be kind of a moment of like a Tower moment of potentially you getting triggered or something just coming out that kind of blows up all this deep hidden stuff. So I'd be aware of that. And then the Devil, the Empress. Yeah, there is some fear around this person. Is this the right person for you? Is this my Empress? You know, is this like the person I should marry, right? It could go either way gender-wise. Yeah, do I want to really commit to this person? Do I want to be bound to them? Also, you know, anything karmic. There's could be some karmic ties to like a mother wound or just your mother. If you tend to attract people that kind of have similar traits to your mother, are maybe overly nurturing or like motherly or like take care of too much, that is also something that needs to change. And there's a karmic rebalancing here. So if this person you're with is kind of, if that's kind of what you're noticing and that's kind of like, oh, I don't know, that's definitely something that is going to be worked out. So I do feel like either way, you are going to move forward. You are going to make a decision. And wherever you're moving, I do feel like there's a positive, you know, end to this. So no matter what, right, no matter what path, well, I shouldn't say that. There is a higher path for you, and I feel like you are going to pick that. The higher path. Okay, Aquarians. Well, I hope that helped you out for the month of November. You guys have a good, again, for people in the States, have a good Thanksgiving. Take a look at the weekly readings as well to help you kind of maybe hone in more on that specific week. But otherwise, I will see you in the next reading.